I'm Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Here in blog post we want to share, of course, with you the latest in social media and technology. We're doing a comparison here between the AT&T.com HTC One versus the AT&T.com LG Optimus G Pro. So this is going to be an interesting comparison. Be sure to subscribe to our videos on the Chris Voss Show and give us a like so we can keep bringing this great stuff. We have all the major phone carriers sending us phones, so you want to tune in so you can see all the latest and greatest. And of course, we break down the benchmarks, photos, everything else. So thanks to HTC for loaning the phones to us. We're going to be doing a Geekbench 2 test here and an AnTuTu test to see which of these devices perform better. And they roughly have about the same sort of processor in them. They're both 1.73 gigahertz processors, and you've got the HTC One. Both these are newest phones on the market. This month there was 4 of them issued in May of 2013 on different carriers, and we'll see how these two perform against each other. Now, given the LG is a much bigger screen, they're both 1080p and very fast phones in each of their rights. So let's go ahead and run the benchmarks for fun, and we'll go through the process. Now, given it's not so much a comparison between these two phones, but if you're at home, you can download these apps, the Geekbench 2 and the AnTuTu benchmark apps. And there's a few other ones you can see on the other videos we do on the Chris Voss Show of other benchmarking apps we use. And in doing so, you can kind of compare how your phone matches up to these phones or determine which phone might be the one you want to buy in the future. So it's kind of fun from that nature where you can see how these phones operate without having to buy one. So you can see our LG Optimus G has come up with a score of 2859. Comparatively, the HTC One should be coming in here real soon to give us their scores. You see the breakdowns of the integer scores, floating point, memory score, and stream score here. So we've got 2083 on the HTC One. We're not sure what's going on with this. We've actually seen scores as high as 2700, but I don't know if recent updates have made changes to it or whatnot, but we've been having trouble getting up to 2700. So we're not really sure if there was an update or something that took place with it, but we have seen scores up to 2700, I should note, especially when we first got the phone. Now you can see they're running both on Android 4.1.2. We've got an integer score of 1419 against 1926, floating point score of 3027 against 4681. We've got a memory score of 2306 against 2386, stream score of 660 versus 700. So you can see the breakdowns. Definitely, it looks like the LG is possibly a much faster device than the HTC One, which is surprising to me. But you know, how these phones work and what they do. So what we're going to do, just for giggles, is we're going to go ahead and run another benchmarking app, run and see what scores we get. Like I said, if you please like our videos and subscribe to them on the ChrisVossShow.com, you get all the major phones from all the major carriers, and you want to see the latest and greatest. Lots of detailed benchmarking we do too, and of course we compare photos and show you which phones we think are the best. So be sure to check out our website, the ChrisVossShow.com, and you can see some of that too. Once again, you see scores pretty consistent here with the AT&T Geekbench 2 score on the LG Optimus G, and on our AT&T HTC One. We'll see what our Geekbench 2 score is going to come out, and then we'll go to the AnTuTu benchmark and get a good idea of what it is. So there's lots of things that can vary in the scoring of these. There's stuff that goes on in the background with each of the devices. This is a really low score. In fact, this is a horrible score from what we've seen. We've seen normally up around 2700. So not really sure what's going on. We did have a message come in. That could be some of it. But we're going to fall back to a secondary score system that many people refer to and use, called the AnTuTu system. So let's go ahead and go to that. And the AnTuTu benchmark system is something that many people use to follow up with the scores that you can take and get on the device. Let's take a look here. So you can see here that with the AnTuTu software, we came out with pretty much the similar scores. Let's go ahead and break down the details there for you. A 19667 against 19324. Now some of these apps are different depending upon how they apply to each of the fragmentations of each of the devices. It could be that we're having some issues with the Geekbench 2 Score app with the HTC One. That's probably why we're not seeing the 2700, yet we have other apps that are showing that they're doing really well in their scores. So there you have it. Be sure to subscribe to the Chris Voss Show. Give us a like. Go to our AT&T.com friends and thank them for sending us the phones. Be sure to tell them Chris Voss sent you. Thanks for coming by. Be sure to check back in often.